Welcome to the Business Flow Formula podcast. I'm Erika, CEO at Signal Operations, where we help businesses listen to the signals from their finances, team, marketing, and strategy. The other day, I was in a goal-setting workshop and was reflecting on how far I've come since I've started my business, and I had this idea. Little steps have all compounded to where I am today, and what if there's such a thing as compound growth, like there is compound interest in a savings account? I know that's not really a revolutionary idea. That certainly has probably been around, especially in goal-setting workshops for a while, but we often hear about compound interest in finance, but its principles apply equally and more powerfully, if you ask me, to your business strategies. Think of it as those small, consistent improvements that stack up over time, multiplying your revenue, client outcomes, and brand value. So, what is compound growth in business? What exactly do I mean by compound growth as far as it works in our businesses? It's about making tiny, consistent gains in key areas that, when combined, create exponential results. Just like a bank account where you have that compound interest where you get 2 cents of interest and then 4 cents and then 8 cents, 16 cents, and so on and so forth. We're talking about a consistent 1% gain weekly, quarterly, or yearly that in a few critical metrics can lead to a remarkable change and growth. Some of those key pillars of compound growth, of course, is that small, consistent improvement. This is the core. Instead of chasing massive overhauls, focus on incremental tweaks to your pricing, customer retention strategies, or even just conversion rates. Small increases in each of these can have a dramatic multiplying effect over time. I know for me, when I changed my pricing a year or two into my business, it had cascading effects even to today that have had that consistent incremental growth. The next one, of course, is reduced friction and bigger adoption. Think about your client's journey. Where are the stumbling blocks? Tiny changes in your onboarding process or how clients schedule appointments, or even your communication frequency can dramatically increase client adherence and their lifetime value. Are they coming back and seeing you often? That's a win. When you remove barriers to positive behaviors, you're going to see better engagement. An example of this is I had someone in my first year say that they decided to go with someone else because they had an onboarding checklist. Well, the next day I got to work and I created an onboarding checklist. And that onboarding checklist has been tweaked and fixed and improved over the years, all through consistent behaviors and changes, making it easier for my clients. Scalable systems and culture is the next area and key pillar of our compound growth. It's not just about quick fixes, it's building for the future. Those incremental process tweaks, like refining your client intake forms, for example, or developing templates, or streamlining follow-up procedures, create reproducible workflows, not just for you, but also for your team, your employees, your staff. These systems will scale with you and your team's growth while maintaining that consistent quality. Now, remember, changing those systems and culture quickly and rapidly and often can actually create chaos. So we just want that consistent and steady growth. Change one thing, try it for a few months. Change another thing, try it for a few months. The next key pillar of compound growth is lower risk, faster learning. This is where the iterating nature of compound growth really shines. Instead of getting big on a new offer or marketing campaign, conduct small experiments. Test different messaging, program structures, or even pricing models cheaply. You'll learn what works and what doesn't, allowing you to iterate and refine before investing heavily or significantly reducing wasted time and money. Another great example of this is just A/B test your email marketing. And that means for some of your email list, they get one subject line. For the other email list or other part of the email list, they get a different subject line. What works? And then you can work more and more heavily and not just invest everything into it. The final key pillar of compound growth is client-centered optimization. Ultimately, compound growth loops back to your clients, continuous micro improvements in your service programming, and how you measure results, as well as your ability to personalize experience, lead to better outcomes. Happy and successful clients become your most reliable growth engine through referrals and repeat business. If we go back to that email marketing list goal that I was just talking about, and perhaps you want to increase it by 20%. The first month, you might just want to increase your email marketing list by 0.5% growth. And then the next month, you talk about it a little bit more on your socials, get a few more subscribers, and then again and again. That's the kind of compound growth that I'm talking about in a very tangible way, of course. We've all heard the practice makes perfect mantra, and that's what this is. And so whether it's very tangible things like growing an email marketing list or less tangible things about just improving, smiling at clients when they walk through the door. How many times do you want to do that? Every single time? That's a great goal. But if you're not doing that now, you can't just go 0 to 100. You want to, okay, I'll smile at the next 5 customers, and then from there and from there. So how are you going to implement this compound growth in your business? You're going to start with identifying your key metrics. What are the 2 to 3 most important metrics for your business right now? Is it customer retention, conversion rate, average sales value? Maybe it's something different. Maybe it's something with your marketing. Once you figure out what those metrics are, write them down. Then you're going to break down those big goals. Instead of increase revenue by 20%, think increase conversion by 0.5% each month and improve customer retention by 1% each quarter. Experiment with small changes and often. Don't be afraid to try new things on a small scale, like A/B testing that email subject line, or maybe there's a different incentive, or refining one step of your sales process. Experiments should last a few months, or at least a few weeks. Measure and iterate on what you're doing. Track your small changes, what worked, what didn't, learn from every experiment, and adjust your approach. And make sure you get team buy-in from this as well. You can't just be the only one that's making changes. You need to have that support. And then, of course, finally, build a culture of continuous improvement. Encourage your team to identify those small opportunities for improvement and make it part of your daily operations. Have that open door policy. Be willing to accept that feedback, even if it's hard to hear. Compound growth isn't just a straight upward line to profit or even success, but it is a powerful and sustainable approach to building a thriving business. It's about that patience, consistency, and belief that your small actions, when they're consistently applied, can lead to significant long-term success. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your business compound its way to remarkable achievements. If you're wanting to work on your compound growth strategies, or even just identifying the metrics that you need to focus on in your business, that's what we do here at Signal Operations. Be sure to check out signalember.com and book a one-on-one coaching session with me, Erika, and get your metrics and your compound growth growing.